Welcome to Dancing with Time, hosted by Beth, Amine, and me, Patti, Teel. This podcast is all about self-care, inspiring and supporting each other to live our essential nature, which is timeless. I'm not young, I'm not old, I just am. Join us for conversation, movement, and meditation. Let's get started.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 22 of Dancing with Time. Fall in love with your future again. I almost forgot what our new title was. We used to be The Joy of Self-Care, and it still is all about self-care and that relationship to self. But right now, our focus and what we're really interested in terms of the Dancing with Time philosophy, is how do we stay fully alive with all the time that we have left here in our beautiful planet and in this joyously incredible experience in physicality in the body. How do we really honor what time we've got and keep fully alive rather than take that dive that the culture says we're supposed to take into decline? And that's the very topic that we want to discuss this week, because every week we're going to discuss what are the ways that make us feel more alive. But this week it's all about keeping your thoughts aligned and protecting them from that really ever-pervasive cultural, familial thing that shuts us down and goes like, no, you can't. It's a sinkhole from here. You have an expiration date and you better pay attention. And I'm saying, no, we've got to not listen to those voices and really know that we're creators and create our own dialogue when those thoughts and perceptions come in. Patti, I know I have some about, no, I can't, and no, you can't do that now, or whatever. So how do you feel about that as a topic, and does that happen to you too, where you go like, oh, wait.
Oh, yeah, Beth, and I think that's where we have to start. I think all of us have to start because a lot of it is subconscious. So today, knowing that we were going to talk about this, I just really paid attention to my thoughts. And sometimes we don't. They kind of flow and we don't really pay attention to them. But today, I really paid attention to every thought I had, and some of them were not thoughts I wanted to be thinking, like, well, gosh, you tried that avenue before and it didn't work, so it probably won't work this time. And so we have to, you can't fight your thoughts. It's just like, when you have that monkey mind that they talk about with meditation, and you can't, make them go away. But I think that when we become aware of them, that's the first step. Become aware of every thought that goes through your brain, and then reframe it. Well, yes, but this is going to be different this time. I have this new attitude, and we have AI to help, or whatever it is, whether it's a business idea, whether it's your health, and you think, oh, but I can't do that, my knee hurts, or whatever. Your knee will continue to hurt if you think it. I'm not saying you're crazy and that all illnesses come because you have a negative thought, but it is very important to recognize when you have them and try to reframe them, because that can really heal you in all ways.
Yes, absolutely. And I think that my indicator, and one that we've learned, is that when you don't feel good, that's the key. Like, oh, I'm not happy right now. I just thought that, oh, I shouldn't be, that didn't work before and it won't work anymore. And that's when you have to really recreate, because that's stuff from the past, or, I think we get judgmental about our looks as we move through. Well, everybody is, even if you're not.
Yes.
And you've got to go like, wait a minute, I'm demeaning myself by thinking that thought. And I don't want to do that. I want to have maximum aliveness. And it's a real habit to develop. I think you have to be very aware, especially with the cultural pressure that's going on about aging and that it's over. I mean, I'm already a statistic. I'm on the scrap heap according to every study. I shouldn't even be here. I should be
You
like
shouldn't,
sucking
Beth.
it life,
How are you possibly still
How am I
here?
doing this? Yeah.
And here with so much aliveness, you are amazing. But it is true. you are kind of erased because
Yeah.
even you look at surveys sometimes and they'll go up to a certain age and you're like, well, wait a minute, where's mine? They don't even go that far. So it's really important not to let ourselves be erased. That's so important.
Oh, that's such a good point. You're absolutely
Yeah.
right. And especially
Hmm.
as women, we start to feel more invisible as time goes on in a youth
Right.
culture, you know. And I think you really have to also know your beauty. And that's something that I'm working on redefining. Like, is it possible to be beautiful after the age of 24, or after the age of 70 or 75 or,
Hmm.
80? And you have to be a creator in this world. And it's a very bold thing to do, to go, wait a minute, I can reinterpret what beauty is. And I'm beautiful because I'm beautiful. I'm a beautiful
Right.
being.
And,
And
we all, I think, know people or can think of people who just seem to get more beautiful every single year. Their eyes sparkle with a light that you really can't define. It's just a beauty that is from the inside out, truly.
mm-hmm.
Um, but I think, as you said, it's a discipline to,
Uh-huh.
for most people. I mean, it may come just perfectly naturally for someone to be positive 100% of the time, but not most of us mere mortals. So I think that
Mm-hmm.
I challenge everyone this week to just be aware of every thought you have. And if something is a thought that is diminishing you or is negative, just really reframe it into a positive thought. And let's write us and tell us how that worked and if you're feeling any better after the week.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you, Patty. And it's so good to have all of us doing together. It really is a support. We need a community and group if we're going to really change something that's so prevailing, like these paradigms about aging. And that is such a good. It's so wonderful to be doing it together. I'm going to be on the I'm going to be on the lookout. Yeah, we'd love to hear, like, what are your oppressive thoughts? Or, I mean,
Right,
like,
yes. And
what
were you
what
able
gets you?
to change them?
Were you
And,
able to
what did you
change
notice
it?
that you didn't even realize you were thinking? Because that's what happened to me this week. Like, oh my gosh, I didn't even know I was having so many negative thoughts because I wasn't really listening, but my subconscious was listening. I'm sure my body was listening, but
Yeah.
I didn't even recognize that I was doing it until I tuned in.
Yeah. Do you remember any other of the ones besides, like, oh, that didn't work before? And I know with me it was like, can I still be beautiful? I'm around a lot of young women in my dance classes, and like, oh yeah, I mean, I can just redefine it. But you still have those moments, and I'm gonna think. I'm sure I had a few more that I could share. Do you remember any that you had this week? Other than
Um,
that,
No, but I just wanted to say another
yeah.
observation that's kind of around the same topic. I went to my friend's retirement dinner the other night, which
Oh,
was lovely,
ah,
and she's such a sweetheart. But the other people at the table were from their early 20s, late 20s, mostly in a different generation of life, and you do pick up vibes from them. Not that I don't adore them, and I think it's vice versa, but I think that, like you said, it is societal and the way they think about older people, you kind of can feel it. So we'll have to think about how we can. I don't know if you can ever change anybody else's thoughts, but um, how we can not let the cultural thoughts, the pervasive thoughts of society, how we can shield ourselves from that.
well, I think one thing that's great that you mentioned that is just how we show up. Like, if you show up in your full power and fully alive, which is everything that we're talking about, the house and the support
Mm-hmm.
to do that, you do alter people's perceptions because they think. I often get like, oh, I'm so inspired by you. I didn't know that I could have energy, or that I could be creative, or that I could be expansive. I think that by example, we can begin to alter, doing the practices that we're talking about. We can begin to alter the whole cultural perception just by how we show up. And
Yes.
I think that. I know a lot of young women will come up to me and go like, "Oh, I want to be like you when I grow up," or whatever. They don't realize at all that there's a possibility for vitality and kind of the hunger for more life that's possible. So
Mm-hmm.
it's very important to show up with
It
that,
is really important, uh-huh. Yeah.
and that alters
I
things.
think that was a great point, Beth. That's very wise that because we all know we can't really change other people, but by changing ourselves, perhaps that's the best thing we can do.
Yeah, and showing up.
Mm-hmm.
Just showing
Right.
up unapologetically, like,
Mm-hmm.
here I am. And I
Right.
am so valuable. I mean, I feel really valuable, Patty. I have to let, that's another one of those things where you have to think so, though. You've got to work
Mm-hmm.
with your mind to do that. I remember now, I said that so emphatically, but I had to work on that one because, again, that's the other thing is we're taught we don't have value as we move through time. And I'm thinking like I'm so much more wise or I'm so much calmer. I don't go on drama binges. I have knowledge. I've been through so many decades. I have a richness of being that could only happen through living. And I think that it's unbelievable and it's incredibly fascinating and incredibly beautiful. And now that I'm thinking that, well, maybe other people will, but I had to process into that kind of thinking because,
Mm-hmm.
like I said, it's not the norm. But it
No.
feels really good. I'm actually I like saying that out loud. I feel like I'm
Oh
gonna walk with
yeah.
that. Like I'm fascinating because I've really
Yeah, that
lived
could
a
be another
long time.
exercise. All of us should be doing that this week too, along with our
Yeah, I'm
amazing
fascinating.
thoughts and
I'm amazing.
stopping the negative ones. Yeah,
Yeah.
look at me.
I've lived. Oh my
Uh-huh.
God. I
Yeah,
have lived through so many things, and that has made me
right.
rich,
Mm-hmm.
really rich. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna I'm gonna walk with that in a room, like
Mm-hmm.
enter that with the room and see who sees it. Not everyone's gonna see it, but the people who have perception and can be inspired will see it. And regardless, it doesn't matter. It feels good to you. And that's our joy of self care coming full circle. It feels good to us, That's the ultimate, right? So,
Absolutely. Yeah, the other
yeah,
thought I had, Beth, was
yeah.
that old statement. Oh, which kids don't even have the idioms. They don't, they're usually my kids were, they always go, what? They when I say them like, oh, you're over the hill. Well, that statement I was thinking of today, yeah, I had this visualization of, yes, I'm over the hill and there's the pot of gold. I made it
Oh,
over the hill. So that was another one of my weird thoughts today, but I kind of liked it.
I
I could kind of
like
see the
that.
changing that around.
Yeah, over the hill means you get all the riches.
Yes.
Wow, that's exactly what we're talking about, Patty. It's a
Love it.
reinterpretation, just a twist of all that
Mm-hmm.
stuff. That's
Yeah.
exactly perfect of
Yes.
everything we're
Mm-hmm.
talking about.
Yeah. So
So
let us know
good.
what your thoughts are and how
Yeah.
you turned them around this week.
Yeah. Oh gosh. And speaking of this coming up, or thinking of you, I am having a free hour with Patty. Of Fall in Love with Your Future Again. It's going to be a wonderful party experience on Wednesday, August 26th at 5 p.m. The link, PST, Pacific Standard Time. We're going to put the link at the end of the podcast, or we'll post it somehow. But if you're our listeners that aren't already subscribers or hooked to me on Facebook or Instagram, do check it out because I'd love to have you join on Zoom and you could really get a taste of some of the wonderful offerings that we have and what it's like to have this conversation in community. So it's one that we're going to has so much depth. As Patty said, it's evergreen. We can go, there's so many aspects to keeping fully alive every moment that you are alive, and we're going to explore it all. So that was wonderful, Patty. I really am so happy we had that conversation. Is
Me
there
too.
anything that you want to add before we go on to our other segments? Or
Nope, I'm ready. I think we covered that. And as I said, please share what insights you had this week as you really
yes,
tune into your
please
own thoughts.
do. And we
Yeah.
really want to hear from you. We record every Friday morning, and we get it posted just as soon as we can. Hopefully, at the beginning of every week, we'll have a new episode for you. So please do that. And as you know, if you've been with us for a while, we always have a little movement segment and a little meditation segment. That's Patti and my signature, because we feel that those are the bookends of awareness, and those are the bookends of happiness, the movement and the quiet. So I'm going to just pause the recording for a second while I stand up, and we'll do 3 minutes of movement, and then we'll do 3 minutes of meditation. Stay with us, and if you're on audio, you can get up and move too. You can kind of hear what I'm doing, or at least just move to the music. All right, so I will see you in a brief second. Hi, everybody. We're going to do our 2 minutes of movement. So I'm going to put on some music, and what I'd like you to do is to begin, start with your posture. Feel that your tummy's in, your chest is lifted, your shoulders are back and down, your feet are hip width apart, and you can feel the motion between one foot and the other so that you're fully present in your body. All right, let's get some music on, and let's get the party started here. This is a beautiful song by my friend Jackie Chandler, and check out the lyrics. So let's get started. I'm going to have you begin by shifting your weight from one foot to the other and leaning slightly to the side. Now engage your arms and lean a little bit more to the side. And when I lean, I'm bending the knee that's leaning. Get a bit more of a dip. Now this is going to start engaging my body in rhythm and movement. Now I can kind of rotate my hand to the side, and I'm lifting a heel slightly. As I go over, give me a little bit more of a sense of dance. Can you see that? Lift and shift. Yes, good. Now we always want to pay attention to our breath when we're moving. So we're going to do that right now. We're going to get our hands, breathe in and exhale out. So we're going to come up through the middle and exhale. Breathing in and out. Breathing in and out. Now one arm, make it all around from the shoulder, breathing in and out. Now if you want to go really big, go really big. I'm going out of the picture there a little bit. Other side. Breathing in, exhaling out. Shifting my body weight. And make it big. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Now I'm going to have my hand go down my side for a little stretch. My side. Again. Good. Tiny bit of breath, tiny warm up. Let's have our knees lifted a little bit and make the motion a little bigger. Rotating the arms, lifting the knees, shifting the weight. And taking a nice big breath. Ah, excellent. Doesn't just a couple of minutes of that make you feel so good and so much better? All right, get ready now for Patti and the meditation.
Take a moment to settle in. Let your body become a little more still, and gently bring your attention to your breath. Notice the inhale and the exhale. You don't need to change your breathing. Just notice it. Feel the breath moving in and moving out. And with each exhale, allow yourself to let go of whatever you don't need to carry into this moment. Now, bring your attention to this question. What makes me feel most alive? Don't try to find the perfect answer. Just let the question rest gently in your mind. What lights something up inside you? Is it being with someone you love? Creating something? Laughing? Moving your body? Being in nature? Learning? Helping someone? Feeling free? Maybe there's a moment in your life when you remember feeling completely present, completely yourself, completely alive. Allow that moment to come to you and notice what it feels like in your body. Where do you feel that aliveness? Maybe it's warmth in your chest, a sense of expansion, energy, a smile, a feeling of possibility. Stay with that feeling for a few breaths. And now, gently notice the thoughts that sometimes pull you away from that feeling. The thoughts that tell you you're not enough, that you should be further along, that you made a mistake, that something is impossible, that you need to be different than you are. If one of those thoughts appears, you don't need to fight it, and you don't need to punish yourself for having it. Simply notice it. There's that thought. Acknowledge it with compassion, and then ask yourself, is this thought serving me? If it isn't, imagine setting it down and choose a thought that supports the person you want to be. Maybe, I'm learning. I am worthy. I am allowed to grow at my own pace. I can choose what I give my energy to. Or simply, I choose thoughts that help me feel more alive. Take another slow breath in, and as you exhale, let that thought settle into you. Remember, you don't have to control every thought that enters your mind. You simply get to choose which ones you give your attention to. And perhaps today you can carry this question with you. What brings me alive? And what deserves my attention? Take one more deep, nourishing breath, and when you're ready, gently return to the room, bringing a little more awareness, a little more compassion, and a little more aliveness with you.